welcome to a brand new edition of The Take. I'm your host as always, Kid Diggs, here on this Thursday, October 18th, 2018. We're on our 8th episode. Glad you can join us here on The Take. Use that hashtag right here up top for hashtag Take here on Connect TV. Glad you're here. Glad you joined us. Let's get started with the big story. The big story this week is, man, Mr. West goes to Washington. What I mean by that is rapper Kanye West went to the White House and met with President Donald Trump. And you would have thought he was talking about prison reform and about his city going to Chicago to reduce his crime rate. Well, Kanye turned that historical meeting into a show. And you want to know how? Watch this.
You know, they tried to scare me to not wear this hat, my own friends. But this hat, it gives me power in a way. When I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. If he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the flyest planes. But I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug. I love this guy right here.
West turned to a coon. No questions about it. He literally showed his love and appreciation for President Donald Trump. He did so in a way to trying to say that the president, he's our president. Yeah, he's the president, but he has to look good, so we had to make him look good and all that stuff out siding with that. But the determined factor is Kanye West truly showed who he is, and he has his free thinking and stuff like that, but you can be what you want to be. If you want to be a Republican, a conservative, that's you, Kanye. But everybody else didn't take too kindly of it. Watch these people's reactions, what they thought of Kanye West joining sides with Donald Trump.
Sit down, setting off CNN's Don Lemon.
Don, what did you think?
Wolf, I have no animosity for Kanye West. What I saw was a minstrel show today. Him in front of all of these white people, mostly white people, embarrassing himself and embarrassing Americans, but mostly African Americans. It was so hard to watch. Him sitting there being used by the President of the United States.
Lemon taking his disapproval a step further by invoking the rapper's, his late mother.
This was an embarrassment. Kanye's mother is rolling over in her grave. I spoke to one of her friends today, or texted with one of her friends today from Chicago, Donda's friends. I used to live there. I know him. She said Donda would be embarrassed by this. She would be terribly disturbed by this. And he needs a father figure. He needs someone to help him and to guide him. And he needs a hug more than anything. Kanye, back away from the cameras, go get some help, and then come back and make your case.
Others in the media are also blasting the Kanye-Trump summit. Watch this.
This is such a blitzkrieg of blathering ignorance on one level. And I say this as a man who loves Kanye West, who admires his genius, and who considers him a friend.
This is the kind of conversation that would typically be held between people wearing hospital bracelets.
There is a deep sense of betrayal among people who follow hip-hop and rap.
This was a giant, shiny object in the Oval Office wearing a red hat. That was
But if you think you're
bonkers.
going to get a thoughtful play-by-play and political analysis, you're not, because that was an assault on our White House.
Then why give it all this hype? Why fan the flames of the foolish? And it's not okay what happened here.
And celebrities are criticizing Kanye. Fellow rapper T.I. posting on Instagram, quote, "This is the most repulsive, disgraceful, embarrassing act of desperation and auctioning off of one's soul to gain power I've ever seen." And other Hollywood stars like Chelsea Handler and Rosie O'Donnell also slamming the visit. We could go on and on, but we want to get to the...
Kanye West is a coon in the making. He just literally turned his back on black America. What happened to the dude that was talking about George Bush didn't play about black people? Now that was kind of shocking right there. His point, his cord back then those days for that relief fund. But now Kanye West is showing a different side and a different tune. Well, even this legendary historian who does not have no hard feelings for the president said this about Kanye West.
We are not doing that because it doesn't make sense. We're not doing that because we have not reduced the complexity and complication of public policy to personalities. When Kanye says, sorry, bruh, I didn't mean to put you on blast that way about stop and frisk, and Donald Trump says, well, I'm open-minded, it is a matter of law, of jurisprudence in New York City, that stop and frisk was ruled to be illegal and therefore subverting the rights of African-American people, ostensibly that Kanye West represents and wants to speak to. This is such a blitzkrieg of blathering ignorance on one level. And I say this as a man who loves Kanye West, who admires his genius, and who considers him a friend. But I beg him, I plead to him, Kanye, please cease the interventions through media of trying to engage issues about which you don't have sophisticated comprehension and knowledge. At Harvard, who writes about the condemnation of blackness. I miss the old Kanye who understood that we're dealing with serious, insidious forces that undermine us. The Kanye who joined with Jay-Z to talk about, black excellence and the quest for black excellence and how it was being roadblocked. I miss the Kanye who loved Tupac, who said just the other day, I got lynched by some crooked cops, and to this day, them same cops on the beat getting major pay. When I get my check, they taking tax out. We paying the cops to knock the blacks out. I miss that Kanye who brings high intelligence. His friend Jay-Z said back when the police were out-counted to black men. There are ways in which hip-hop can serve as a useful forum to articulate valuable ideas that people of color find resonant in the application to our situation. Right now, this Kanye is a Kanye who is Kanye mess, not Kanye West, not Kanye at his best. And that's the real tragedy for my dear friend and great artist.
Like I said, pipe bomb. Kanye West just kind of putting his own pipes in his own little world, and we're just here living in it. And Kanye West might have to relive the backlash, but I hope we know what he's doing. All right. Speaking of Trump, his wife Melania went to Africa to clean up his mess, what he called back a year ago whole countries. Well, she did an interview with ABC News, and she discussed her marriage. She discussed everything, her politics, what her causes as first lady. Roll that bullet for bean footage.
Her husband wields his Twitter feed like a weapon, so it's no wonder Melania Trump's focus on cyberbullying has raised questions.
What did you see personally that you thought you wanted to tackle this issue?
I could say I'm the most bullied person on the world.
You think you're the most bullied person in the world?
One of them, if you really see what people are saying about me. That's why my Be Best initiative is focusing on social media and online behavior. We need to educate the children.
In our exclusive interview, the First Lady not holding back, telling me the president can't count on some members of his own administration.
He's been in office now almost 2 years. Has he had people that you didn't trust working for him?
Yes.
Did you let him know?
I let him know.
And what did he do?
Well, some people, they don't work there anymore, and it's very difficult sometimes because I'm so busy with my office, I don't get involved with West Wing.
Do you think there's still people there that he can't trust?
Yes.
Still working now?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like Mrs. Trump is more independent thinker. Like she's not like a bride, male or bride as you might call it. Like she just doesn't go by her husband's own stance, but which many people accuse that she does. But to me, watching the interview, she seemed like she didn't hold no punches. She took all the questions she can get from Tom Allen's, and he just didn't hold back nothing. And she was kind of answering firmly and directly. Hey, that's something you can give her credit for. She ain't like, you go, Donald, do whatever you want, Donald. You can say whatever you feel like, Donald. You whatever right, Donald. But we'll get to him later on in the political rundown, because it's a litany of stuff that Donald Trump has done, and you want to know what he said and what he didn't say. But we'll get down to political rundown later on. But furthermore, in celebrity news, all right, breaking right now, singer Ariana Grande and her fiance, Pete Davidson, announced their ending their engagement. Well, they're not broken up, I don't think, but a lot of reports are contrary, saying that they're broken up. Some they split, but to here they have confirmed that they have ended their engagement. So, you know, hey, but let's have that a little bit more escalate with this.
Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson call it quits. According to multiple reports, the two still have love for each other, but things are over romantically. The news comes just one day after the singer was scheduled to perform at the Let's F Cancer Heroes Gala in Los Angeles, but canceled last minute. Her manager, Scooter Braun, gave a speech at the event and addressed her absence, saying she needs this time to heal.
Lessons learned through love.
The 25-year-old singer and the 24-year-old SNL star got engaged back in May after just weeks of dating.
Pete Davidson, thanks for existing. Love you.
The couple couldn't help but publicly gush over their relationship.
Yeah, I'm a lucky motherfucker.
I'm just be crying, like, out of happiness, literally lately. I was on FaceTime last night crying.
To who?
He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah."
And during Saturday Night Live's season 44 premiere, Pete's cast wasted no time teasing him over their romance.
What's the prenup situation?
Well, obviously, I wanted one, you know, so God forbid we split up and she takes half my sneakers. No, look, I'm totally comfortable being with a successful woman. I think it's dope. I live at her place, you know? She pays like 60 grand for rent, and all I have to do is like stock the fridge. And yeah.
But the engaged bliss came to a halt when Ariana's ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller, suddenly died. Ari has shared her heartache with fans on social media, tweeting, "Can I please have one okay day? Just one, please." E.T. has reached out to Ariana and Pete's reps for comment.
Everyone saw that coming. Dang, for 4 months, and then on top of that, you want to get engaged that quick? Come on now. And then they said another factor was her, she just got off the heels of breaking up with Mac Miller, the rapper, and his attempted suicide overdose. So it's kind of like Ariana Grande taking a lot in, and she's trying to figure herself and figure out where she wants to go. So it's good for her to take a step back and just know where she want to go from there. Because it's just too much. And I kind of knew, because on Saturday Night Live, he was kind of bragging about too much about it. You know, when you brag about it, it's good and dandy. But you know, people brag, but don't brag too much, because it can be there one day and gone the next. Believe me. Alright, in other celebrity news, Royal Baby Fever, Royal Baby Watch. Man, I'm going to have to say this. Congratulations in order to Prince Harry and his beautiful, lovely bride, Meghan Markle. They are expecting their first child this spring, and the news cycle went ballistic and bananas. Take a look.
One of the things that I'm really excited about, and I'm not a big royal fan, but Meghan and Harry are having a baby. I mean, I know
already.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't get this excited about anybody else or any wedding, but she was the age I was when I got married, and thank you, Tom. As a woman, if there are times there's pressure on your expiration date on things you might want to do, and I always wanted to have kids, and I got married later, and she did too. So you don't have a lot of time. It's like, let's do this.
Well, they didn't waste any time.
No, they did not.
So they're having a baby already. I did not know that.
Spring 2019, and that baby is going to be so cute. So cute.
So now the new royal watch is on.
Yeah.
Because everything that these two do, I gotta say, he was my favorite.
Yes.
Because he's like the royal you want to be.
Ornery.
I don't want to be the future king.
No, I don't either.
Because I can't do nothing.
No.
If I'm Harry, I can go to Vegas, I can kick it.
He has had like a wild streak with the perfect vast amount of his mother in him. Like, he always is doing good deeds, and he seems to care from the bottom of his heart, but he also knows how to let his hair down and get crazy.
Well, I felt like in his 20s and teens and 20s and all that, he got it in.
Yeah.
So he has no regrets.
No.
But if you're going to be the future king, you can't do anything.
No.
You always got to be proper. Not be like, man, throw me those mashed potatoes.
They should get the royal invite without any of the pressure.
Yeah. But maybe we'll get an invite.
I'll be there.
We want to be at the hospital when the baby's born. Invite us. We'll be there.
I just want to see that baby. This is the one thing I've been royally excited about.
Well, congratulations to them. That's all.
Yeah,
that's great news.
It's great news.
That's new to me this morning.
I did the math, and it's legitimate. Wait, tell me.
Oh my good night. No, you did not.
I did. They just I am not the only one here. When you saw they were pregnant, did you not do just a quick I'm not judging, even if it didn't add up, but just a little math.
Every dude is like, we just don't care. We just happy to having a baby. We didn't do the math.
The women did for a second, and again, not judging, but like super cool. That worked out nicely. Yeah. Move on.
Meghan and Harry got married this past spring in May, and now they're gonna have a kid this coming spring. So kudos to them, and kudos to them on their new growing family. They'll be good parents for next kid. All right, on talk shows, Snoop D-O-G Dogg appeared on Wednesday Live and promoted his stage play. And Snoop talked about the time he spent with rapper Tupac before his untimely death. Take a look.
When did you know you wanted to do this gospel album?
Well, my grandmother raised us in church. Despite the music that you heard from me in the beginning and all the things that I've done that may look, secular or different, my grandmother raised me with God, and I took him everywhere I went. So when I was finally able to make a project where I didn't have no record label saying, hey, Snoop, you should do an album like this, or this would be a great move, I did this because I wanted to do it. And I reached out to all of the gospel artists, and they all said, we know your spirit, brother, so we're going to do it for you, and we don't want no money.
What?
Yes.
No money?
They did it out of love and spirit. I'm talking about the Clark sisters, Marvin Sapp, Ty Tribbett, you can go on and on, Charlie Wilson, all of them. The spirit of God.
Snoop Dogg got more sense than you think he did. That, like I said, it was a gimmick from the start. The Snoop Dogg gimmick. Snoop Dogg, get dog. Hey, it is what it is. Snoop Dogg just being Snoop Dogg. Well, we'll be back with more tape. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. This is the tape. Join in that conversation using that hashtag tape here on Connect TV. Glad you're here to join us. Let's get to the political rundown. On the political rundown, I told you before we had more Trump news. So let's catch you up to speed. What had happened? Okay. Now, we may have to rename the political rundown report to the Trump rundown, because every week we're talking about this man. He's doing something outrageous. He's doing something crazy. He's doing something that he ain't got no business of doing, but he ends up making news anyway. So that ain't gonna happen. Hell no. It's gonna be political rundown because we got more stories better other than Trump. All right. Well, the president did a campaign stop in Kentucky and called a Civil War veteran legend a drunk, and you won't believe who he said it was. Take a look.
It also gave you a general who was incredible. He drank a little bit too much. You know who I'm talking about, right? So Robert E. Lee was a great general. And Abraham Lincoln developed a phobia. He couldn't beat Robert E. Lee. He was going crazy. I don't know if you know this story. But Robert E. Lee was winning battle after battle after battle. And Abraham Lincoln came home. He said, I can't beat Robert E. Lee. And he had all of these generals. They looked great. They were the top of their class at West Point. They were the greatest people. There's only one problem. They didn't know how the hell to win. They didn't know how to fight. They didn't know how.
Oh my God. He called General Robert E. Lee a drunk and said Lincoln was losing the war. Losing because of Robert E. Lee's drunkenness. Okay, hey, you never know who drunk, because sometimes drunk people can be drunk and you won't even know it because they good at nipping it. They good at you know, causing an effect. Like, hey, I'm causing, but I'm still effective. So they kind of like mask it. So, hey, he said, and praise you says Grant. Ain't that something? What that tells you? That tell you. All right. No rest for the weary for the president, as an old friend and soon-to-be foe has some unfinished business to tell the president. And you won't believe how. Take a look.
His opponents say it's a racial slur, but President Trump relishes his nickname for Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas, Pocahontas. Pocahontas. I mean, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. Seriously.
Trump seizing on Warren's claim that she is part Native American, even once leveling this challenge.
I will give you $1 million to your favorite charity, paid for by Trump, if you take the test.
Oh man, Elizabeth Warren went to her roots on Norman, Oklahoma to prove to the president that she is Native American. And the president did promise that he was going to, if she can prove that through middleman that she had proof that she was Native American, he will pay $1 million to her charity of choice. And the president said this.
Pocahontas. That's this Elizabeth Warren. Massachusetts is represented by Pocahontas, right?
I call her Pocahontas, and that's an insult to Pocahontas.
I was being hit by Pocahontas. 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 What an insult to Pocahontas. I've got more Indian blood in me than Pocahontas, and I have none.
Okay, now you whitewashing. You wish you whitewashing. You wishy-washing. You just being flip-floppers. You kind of like 1 minute you said it, but we got you on camera. What you said? You said this.
I'll only do it if I can test her personally. Okay, that will not be something I enjoy doing either.
Do you owe her an apology?
No, I don't.
What about the money that
I owe her? She owes the country an apology.
Okay, you said that now a year later you don't want to own to and admit to it. It's like what this president is, he don't want to agree and admit to things because he feel like if he agree to things, he looks weak. Well, man, you've been all of that and all of the above for a long time, and you keep on doing it. But you keep winning. But hey, you just tapped into that base that wants you to win, and they so in denial sometimes. So hey, it is what it is. Elizabeth Warren did prove that she was some percentage of Native American and have her family roots. So hey, see what you see. All right. Speaking of the player, on the viral video of the week, a mom accidentally struck her son in the face for doing this.
The force was with this mother who accidentally socked her son when he scared her with a Chewbacca mask.
I got up and I started picking flies on my braces.
Tylen regularly plays pranks on his mom, but this time the joke was on him. He tried to scare her in a Walmart, but her reaction packed a punch.
When she hit me, I just didn't feel anything until I hit the floor.
Tashila was watching her nephew shoot hoops at the time.
You know, you would think I would be used to it, but I wasn't expecting that in a store.
And Tylen went in.
Wow. Wow. Things happen like that when when the son was trying to surprise his mom and the mom didn't react. You know, you get those reactions sometimes, because sometimes I get it too. When somebody surprised me, I do like, wow. Oh, I didn't know that was you. Or do this. you know, oh man, I'm sorry, didn't know. Oh my God. You get a reaction like that and you kind of think like, somebody being in, you know, some people in a praying in a trash can, and you open up and somebody shocks you and you knock them out and bring them back into that trash can. You know, it happens. It happens. Well, okay. Well, that does it for the Take this week. I have been your host, Ken J, saying so long. We'll see you next time here on the Take.